The sinking of the RMS Titanic on April 15, 1912, is one of the most well-known maritime disasters in history. The Titanic was a British passenger liner that was built to be the largest and most luxurious ship of its time. It was designed to be a symbol of the technological progress and industrial power of the early 20th century, and it was meant to showcase the best that British shipbuilding had to offer. However, the Titanic's maiden voyage would be its last, as it hit an iceberg and sank in the North Atlantic, resulting in the deaths of over 1,500 people. The Titanic was built by the White Star Line, which was owned by the International Mercantile Marine Company, IM, a conglomerate of shipping companies led by American financier J.P. Morgan. The Titanic was constructed at the Harland and Wolff shipyard in Belfast, Northern Ireland, and was designed by naval architect Thomas Andrews. The ship was launched on May 31, 1911, and its maiden voyage was scheduled for April 10, 1912, from Southampton, England, to New York City. The Titanic was a marvel of engineering and design. It was 882 feet long and 92 feet wide, and it weighed over 46,000 tons. The ship had 4 smokestacks, although only 3 of them were functional, and it had a maximum speed of 24 knots, about 28 miles per hour. The Titanic had 10 decks, and it could accommodate up to 3,547 passengers and crew members. The ship was divided into 3 classes: first class, second class, and third class. First class was for the wealthiest passengers, who enjoyed the most luxurious accommodations, such as private suites, a gymnasium, a swimming pool, and a squash court. Second class was for the middle class, who had access to comfortable cabins and public spaces. Third class was for the poorest passengers, who were housed in crowded dormitories and had limited access to the ship's amenities. The Titanic was equipped with the latest technology, including a wireless telegraph system that allowed it to communicate with other ships and land-based stations. However, the ship was not equipped with enough lifeboats to accommodate all of its passengers and crew members, which would prove to be a fatal oversight. The Titanic set sail from Southampton on April 10, 1912, with 2,223 passengers and crew members on board. The ship made stops in Cherbourg, France, and Queenstown, now known as Cove Island, to pick up additional passengers and mail. On the evening of April 14, the Titanic received several warnings of icebergs in the area, but the ship's crew believed that the Titanic was unsinkable and continued at full speed. At 11:40 p.m. on April 14, the Titanic struck an iceberg on its starboard side. The impact caused serious damage to the ship's hull, and water began to flood the lower compartments. The Titanic's crew immediately began to try to contain the damage, but they soon realized that the ship was sinking. The Titanic's wireless operator sent out distress signals to other ships in the area, and the nearby RMS Carpathia responded to the call for help. The Titanic's lifeboats were launched, but there were not enough of them to accommodate all of the passengers and crew members. The ship's crew followed the women and children first protocol and prioritized the evacuation of the ship's first class and second class passengers. Many of the third-class passengers were unable to reach the lifeboats and perished in the sinking. The Titanic sank at 2:20 a.m. on April 15, just 2 hours and 40 minutes after it hit the iceberg. Of the two,